Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's your man Wise back at it again with another reaction video. All right, now I'm checking out another video from The Benny Show. This is rapper Meek Mill's breaks the internet, endorses Donald Trump. You're starting to see that more and more. There's more rappers are starting to come out and endorse Donald Trump. I don't know if you guys seen Benny the Butcher on The Breakfast Club with Charlemagne, and he came out and said that he's, putting his support behind Donald Trump. And it also said that there are other folks, in the neighborhood where he comes from. I believe he's from Buffalo, New York. And they're, having these discussions about supporting Trump. If you haven't already, man, go ahead and support Benny's channel by at least liking and subscribing to his channel as well. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Please make sure that you watch this video all the way through. It helps YouTube push this type of content to other people out there that need to see this information. Give me 1 second. Let me slide the video in. Uh-oh. Golly, Sean, you're slacking. Slacking over here, man. Slacking. Here we go. All right, video in. Without further ado, let go.
What do you have to lose? You're living in poverty. Your schools are no good. What the hell do you have to lose?
Hanging with billionaires, I appreciate that.
Hey, I grew up in America in a roofless neighborhood.
We do regularly, Congressman, clips of people from the south side of Chicago, from the Bronx in New York, or urban communities that are like, nah, man, we're effing with Trump this election.
Yeah.
We're done, right?
Yeah.
Trump's my boy.
I like this guy right here.
And we're effing with Trump this election. We're done, right? Trump's my boy. Like we do those clips, and we have an abundance of them.
Right.
But something that I wasn't counting on my bingo card for 2024, although I guess at what point do we just break the wheel and say anything's possible? Is one of the biggest rappers in the world. One of the most followed rappers in the world, Meek Mill.
Meek Millie came out. Yeah.
Meek Mill quoting my tweet and being like, wait till y'all see who the black people in poverty are voting for. Can you break this down for us? Like, I think that what he's doing, and we were counting on, I don't know Meek Mill. He's welcome to come on the show anytime. I invite you and Meek Mill on the show, right? We had a great conversation. I think what he's doing is he's saying that Democrat policies have been terrible for poor people, especially, and that there are communities that feel utterly left behind, and they're going to vote the opposite direction in 2024. Your thoughts?
Poor people, not just poor blacks, poor people all around the country are suffering right now. Those that are in the, upper middle class and those that are in the 1%, is the inflation, a big deal? For the 1%, maybe not. But those of us, in the, from lower to middle to, upper middle class are definitely feeling the pinch. But poor people are getting it the worst.
Thoughts?
Man, Meek Millie, ASAP Rocky, Kodak Black, man. The list is, Lil Wayne. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Like,
I need to do a video on all the rappers that have supported Donald Trump up to this point. I got to look into that.
these are black people that are in touch with the black community, and black men are looking around. They're saying this sucks. The Biden administration sucks. And you know what? 4 years ago, it didn't suck. And then meanwhile, we're sitting there complaining about tweets and MAGA this, and people are racist. Look, the rising tide raises all boats. But black people in the hood, they don't want to pay more taxes either. They want to be safer as well.
No.
They don't want fewer law enforcement or fewer police officers. We want more police officers.
Absolutely.
It's not even a race issue. And what we've seen in the last 4 years is this country go to absolute hell in the handbasket, and everybody's looking around pointing the fingers. And you know what we realized?
With gasoline draws on.
That is, this happened ever since Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, our board czar, took office. So you know what? Let's go back to the way it was a few years ago. And now we feel emboldened. A lot of black people feel emboldened to actually speak their mind and speak their heart, because now we have proof. We have proof that we were better off before, and we just want to get back to that. This has nothing to do with race, religion, color, or creed. This has everything to do with your quality of life. Am I better off then? Am I better off now? And black folks
Absolutely.
are realizing we're better off now. And I think President Trump is going to get between 25 and 30% of the black male vote. He set a record in 2020. He got 18.7% of the black male vote. If he gets 25, kiss the baby.
Absolutely. And honestly, that number should really creep up to about 50% of the black male vote. But unfortunately, I think we have more the baby boomer generation. I think that generation may be cooked. They may be done. But those of us that are, Gen X, millennials, those of us that are looking at it at face value, looking at what we're going through, and we're really just diving in and looking at the policies, oh, they're in trouble.
This thing is over. And Democrats know that. And that's why they're acting like caged animals to get him out of there. They are hemorrhaging the black male vote. And I'm telling you, I'm seeing it every single day. And by Meek Mill of all people, coming out and being like, yeah, man, like the streets got his back. Let's go.
This congressman, I've seen him speak on a couple of different occasions. For whatever reason, I cannot think of his name right off the top of my head. Can somebody drop me a comment down in the comment section, man, and remind me of his name, please?
Let's go.
We have the B-roll. It'll just play beside you of Fannie Willis's hometown on the night that she arrested Donald Trump. Mugshots in the studio, coming out to support Donald Trump. People getting out of their houses, out of their buildings to come out and cheer Donald Trump as he rolls through the street, right?
Yeah.
Saying, free my boy Trump. That's what they were saying. Fannie done effed up.
Yeah.
But little did we know how right they were. The entire A block of the show was about how Fannie did F up by effing around with one of her lawyers, by meeting with the Biden White House, by meeting with the January 6th committee, by paying her lover boy an enormous amount of money, even though he doesn't do these kind of cases and doesn't have any kind of pedigree as a lawyer. And he's just into big fannies. And so we're looking at this and saying,
yo,
and how, and now there's a judge that's scheduling like a hearing saying, hold up, something ain't right here. What do you think is going to happen in this case?
Oh, well,
before he answers, this case is getting tossed out. I'm surprised that it hasn't already been tossed out, but I think they're trying to figure a way to save face. But this case is gone. It's done.
Joe Biden right now is polling at 31%, the lowest he's seen in modern history. The only person worse than that is Kamala Harris. She's polling worse than that. She's the worst polling vice president we have seen in the history of this country. And while Dick Cheney was vice president, he shot somebody. Think about that. You're doing worse than Dick Cheney at this point. He shot somebody, a friend of his, in the face with birdshot. Thank God it wasn't buckshot. At what point do we realize that these are Democrats that are going after President Trump, and it's witch hunt after witch hunt after witch hunt, indictment all over the country? It's New York, it's Georgia, it's everywhere, it's Fannie. They're doing this because they're trying their best to keep him off the ballot. But thank God for our Constitution. Absolutely. And thank God for the Supreme Court, because they're not going to let them get away with this. And I hope that he goes after Fannie with full force when this is over. This is ridiculous. Taxpaying dollars were paid to enrich a man that she had an affair with because he wants to make President Trump a political prisoner. What?
Yeah.
What? This is what's happening in our country right now. And the good thing is we have shows like yours. There's people like me, there's people around the country that are exposed to this for exactly what it is. Thank God. And thank God your viewership is going to watch this and disseminate this accordingly. That's why we're going to be okay in November. We don't have to worry about the fake news, man. We don't have to worry about NBL, LSD, and CNN and everybody else. The only thing we have to do is stay focused on the issues, shows like you to really put out.
Did he say LSD?
What's going on, and we're going to be just fine. But let me tell you something, man. The people are getting ready to speak, and we're getting ready to speak loud and clear. We're sick of the corruption. We are sick of the two-tier justice system. And I also want to say this. I was on Triggered yesterday with Don Jr., and we were talking about he versus Hunter Biden. Could you imagine? Go with it. Could you imagine if Donald Trump Jr. behaved the way that Hunter Biden has behaved? Could you imagine if we found cocaine in the White House that nobody knows whose cocaine it was? Could you imagine if you were found on camera measuring crack? while prostitutes are in the back that are being paid for by money that you got because of who your father was. This is ridiculous. And now we know it. And that's indicative of why President Trump set a record in Iowa. We're going to see the same thing in New Hampshire. We're going to see the same thing in Nevada. We're going to see the same thing in South Carolina. And I cannot wait to watch it. And I'm even more proud to be a part of the movement, brother.
Final question for you, Congressman, because you brought up the polling, and we have the polling actually here from Real Clear Politics. You can see now Donald Trump, not only, you see Joe Biden sort of like slowly atrophy, but Donald Trump just like a rocket ship, right? He's like Tesla stock, Bitcoin, bam, bam. And he's popping up again. And I think that you are on a trend here where Donald Trump is simply polling outside of the margin of fraud, and they're going to get desperate. Now you're starting to see little stories like this. Don't be shocked. Here's the New York Post. Don't be shocked if Michelle Obama sneaks her way into the 2024 race. And they go through how Michelle Obama could do the old switcheroo with Joe. Is this going to work? Your thoughts on this?
Personal thoughts. And I actually read this yesterday. Do you know that the election is 10 months away? If you were going to replace Joe Biden, you had to do this 8-10 months ago. This is what they're doing. They're riding with Biden. And I don't see them replacing him at this point because it would take a Herculean effort to get somebody spun up to a national level to run against President Trump when the election is 10 months away. I just don't see it. And they've realized that this is the party of identity politics. And the reason why they cannot replace Biden with, let's say, a Gavin Newsom or somebody else who's white, because then you have to replace the black vice president with a white guy, even though he's probably way better. Let's be honest, this is the DNI party. So then you're going to have a serious problem if you try to usurp the black woman with any other candidate. So you're stuck with Joe Biden. It's just what it is. And they've realized that they can't replace him. And this guy cannot walk up steps. He can't read off a teleprompter. This guy is more obsessed with ice cream than keeping our world safe. And we've watched it for the past year. Why haven't they replaced this guy yet? Because they can't. It's just that simple. I think Michelle Obama is living in her house in Martha's Vineyard. That's right there off the coast, by the way. It goes to show you how much they care about global warming and about the coastal flooding. They just built a house in Hawaii. They're flying around on Sir Richard Branch's plane. Do you really think they're going to live that life to go run against President Trump? I just doubt it, man.
Yep.
I mean, it sounds, in theory, I guess it sounds okay, but I think people are finally awakened to the games of the Democratic Party. And I just don't think that we'd fall for it. Those that would vote for Michelle Obama, those are the same people that are going to vote for, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, which, like I said earlier, a lot of it is going to be, when I'm just speaking on the black community, it will be, black women, although there are some black women that are starting to wake up to the foolery, of the Democratic Party. And then you got your, older people within the black community, baby boomers, people that are, I guess, 60 plus years old. They're going to ride with the Democratic Party no matter what. I've talked to a couple of these people. I know a number of these people. They're cooked. They're done. Those people, I don't even know if they're worth saving, at this point, and trying to, and what I mean by save is, I don't know if it's worth trying to change their mind. What we really need to be going after, and what I think, President Trump and whoever it is that he chooses as VP, focus on people from, I would say 18 to about 45, 50. That's the demographic of people that needs to be, really focused on. And that was the big thing. That was the thing that I liked about Vivek, is that he jumped out there and he was in, media platforms that were untraditional, that really did. And he tried to focus on younger people. He went to, I believe he did an interview with the Cartier family. They have a large following. I would assume that a lot of those folks that do watch them are, younger people, because they're, I believe, either college age, young men, or, just, graduating college. So they're in their, mid 20s. That needs to be the focus going forward of the Republican Party.
You know what? That's actually a really great point. Like, why would they give this up? They can make Netflix shows that nobody watches, right? Like they get paid. They can do podcasts and they live there and throw their little parties, right?
Yeah. I think it's just too late for that. If they would have replaced him 7-8 months ago or talked about this 7-8 months ago, that would have been a more interesting conversation for me. But at this point, I think this is what they're going to roll with.
Yeah, I think this is what they're going to roll with. I wouldn't be surprised if you were on stage during the 2024 election cycle with Donald Trump, Meek Mill, Lil Wayne, and
that would be a dream. For me, that'd be a dream come true. You're talking about, and by the way, I've been listening to like Lil Wayne back in the Hot Boys days, man. I mean, that would be like a dream come true. I'm talking about like the block is hot, Lil Wayne. Nothing would make me happier to be on stage with one of the original Hot Boys, man. Come on, I would love that.
Here's to manifesting that in 2024. Cheers, Congressman, the great Wesley Hunt. Again, follow on X. Here's the profile. 200,000 Patriots can't be wrong. Give our boy some love. Godspeed,
Wesley Hunt. All right.
Thank you, brother. Anytime, and you enjoy your weekend. Thank you for having me on, man.
Wow, that was awesome, man. Hey, make sure y'all guys go over there to the Benny Show, man, and subscribe to his channel, man. I mean, he just continues to pump out great content. And I got the name, man, Wesley Hunt, man. I knew I didn't want to. I had an idea. I didn't want to jump out there and say the wrong name and then, get crushed in the comments there. That's why I just asked. But yeah, that was dope, man. And finally, we're starting to see, the brothers wake up. I mean, obviously, 18%, of black men voted for Donald Trump in 2020. They're saying that number could easily be, 22, 23, 24%. I personally think that number is going to be a lot higher because the people that I talk to, that are around my age or younger, my little cousin who is, 29, 30, that dude's all about Trump, and his friend group are all about Trump because they see the foolishness. They're the ones. And the thing is that what people don't understand is that those of us, when you're in your 20s, don't believe the social media hype that there are people in their 20s just balling out of control. There's a small percent, but most of us, when we're in our 20s, that's the exploratory stage of life. We're still trying to figure it out. We're not making that much money. The policies that have been implemented by the left and by Joe Biden over these past 4 years, it's hurt young people in their 20s trying to figure things out. If they wanted to purchase a house, if they're trying to get a job, coming out of college. It's that demographic of people that's hurting. And then obviously, poor people, as well, that are really, really feeling the brunt from these policies, the policies that have been implemented by the left that they obviously affect everybody. But if you find yourself in that situation where you're just trying to get your life started, you're just trying to get your life off the ground, it's those people that are really struggling because they haven't had enough time to work and stack some money. They haven't had enough time to really be in their career, and make that next step from the entry level to a mid level or to a senior level because they're still early on and, they're struggling. And you got a lot of people right now that, 18, 19, 20, they can't go out here and go get a job and, go get a place because now even in the hood, in some of the worst places in America, to try to get a little small 1-bedroom apartment, you can't afford it. It's ridiculous, man. But shout out to Benny, man. And I appreciate, Congressman Wesley Hunt, man, and his insight, man, that was phenomenal. Shout out to, Meek Mill, Benny the Butcher, Lil Wayne, and a whole list of other rappers out there supporting Donald Trump and pushing the narrative that needs to be pushed. And please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all the love and support thus far. Drop me a comment down below. Let me know whatever your thoughts are. And I'll catch up with y'all next time, man. We out. Peace.